but yeah, it's really exciting. It's the first spring game for Kentucky in 3 years. Obviously, 2020 because of COVID didn't happen. Last season they were using Kroger Field. I still want to call it Commonwealth Stadium, as somebody who's been going to UK games since the 1980s. It's always going to be Commonwealth Stadium, but they were using Kroger Field as a COVID testing site and a vaccination, site kind of thing. So they didn't have a game. They had like kind of a controlled scrimmage in front of like boosters and some big fans, but the general public was not allowed. So first time in 3 years, and it's very very exciting. Like I said, as you and I have said many times before, the excitement around this program is just, in the clouds, astronomically high right now, because coming off another 10-win season, and it's, I think it's going to be another special year. We'll see what happens. And, Saturday, we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Well, I got to think Kentucky fans are obviously happy about 10-3 last season and a near top 10 finish in the country, and generally satisfied with Will Levis's play. But I guess when he was throwing those 13 interceptions, you could say he was playing like horse, but maybe that translates to his NIL deal. Yes,
I don't know if folks have heard about this, but Will Levis, got to be the first one that I've ever heard of, has signed an NIL deal with Claiborne Farm. It's one of the most historic farms. Anybody that follows horse racing had a number of Derby winners, all-time great horses. And the horse, it's the horse's name is War of Will, and so they signed a deal with that. And Levis is going to, obviously, be compensated, supposed to appear in commercials and things like that. The horse is retired. He's at the breeding shed now, but it's pretty interesting. It popped up on Twitter and on social media on Wednesday, and it's just kind of, people were just like, what? And but it's like I said, maybe it's one of those things only at Kentucky. Here we're the horse capital of the world, and who knows? You might see how this works out. You might see more. More players, doing things like that. But anyway, it's something really unique and something pretty cool, actually. So, and that's the big thing to mention interceptions. You got to cut down on those turnovers this year. And I tell you what, just jumping right into it, Levis has been the talk, I think, of spring practice that says he's been taking that next step. At the pro day last week here at Kentucky, Levis caught the eye of a lot of the scouts, and he's jumping way up on those draft boards for next year. He could maybe be a second day pick kind of thing. So what he's been able to do, like I said, looking for him to take that next step. You don't have Liam Cohen now, but you have Rich Scangarello, who pretty much runs, comes from that Kyle Shanahan tree of coaching. And I don't think, there's going to be some changes, some new wrinkles, but, it's going to be kind of similar to the offense I think that we saw last year where, Kentucky, we always joked about, 2021 was where Kentucky rediscovered the forward pass. So, like I said, I'm looking for big things for Levis. And honestly, one of the things I'm looking at on Saturday is, I don't know how much Levis is going to play, but the backup quarterback, because there's been so much talk about Levis. We've not heard, to my knowledge, not heard anything about Bo Allen, who's, the Lexington Catholic grad, who's the backup. And then, after that, basically you have, Deuce Hogan, who transferred in from Iowa, who has, crazy strong arm, kind of similar to Levis, but no one, he's only been here for a short time, probably doesn't know the system very well. But that's one of the things I'm really interested in on what happens on Saturday. I expect Allen to get a good look, get a lot of reps, maybe Levis plays three or four possessions and then, sets out for the rest of the game. But that's one of the things I'm looking more interested in going forward is that backup job, with Bo Allen. Like I said, we just not heard a whole lot about him or any of the other quarterbacks, honestly, during this spring. So